everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Spiked Coffee and Sarcasm. This is episode number 8, and I'm Chris.
And I'm Van.
And she's laughing at me again because it never fails every time I introduce us. Why is that?
I don't know.
Every time I introduce us, I make some sort of flub. Did you guys hear me when I said Spiked Cat? I didn't even know what our name was. So anyway... Well, now that that's out of the way, we've got it all taken care of. It's episode 8, not episode 9 or 15 or whatever. It's Spiked Coffee and Sarcasm. There, I feel better. Do you?
Okay. Hey, as long as you're happy, I'm happy. It's all that matters. We can't be perfect.
It's all that matters.
We can't be perfect all of the time. I mean, you know, we're either going to mess up all the time or we're going to mess up all the time. That's just who we are.
Well, at least somebody, when it happens, we get a laugh out of it, and that's a good thing.
Yep.
So that's kind of the whole point of this whole thing, right? Besides, life is hard. And so if we can make each other laugh, well, then that's just a few minutes easier, right?
Yep.
A few moments, few days, something easier.
There's too much.
Take some of the stress out.
There's too much hate in the world. There needs to be more laughter. More laughter and more love. Boy, I don't sound like me at all.
You just sounded like a greeting card. I'm the one who's not supposed to be cynical here, and you just gave me a sweet tooth.
I know. I think I just totally just did not do myself justice because I am not a sweet person like that usually.
No, that's me, and especially today, because guess what? You know what today is?
Oh,
guess what today is? Bet you don't know.
I do know. I do know.
It's
your anniversary.
How many years?
18.
18 years. Oh, be still my heart. He got me the most beautiful, beautiful flowers. And when he gave me the flowers this morning, I knew that they weren't from, like, the grocery store. They weren't just, like a spring bloom put together or whatever. Because you could tell that there was a lot put into it. So I asked him, I said, you went to the flower shop to get me flowers, didn't you? And he goes, I had them specially made just for you.
Oh my God. Does anybody have a number to a dentist? Because my teeth hurt. I mean,
okay, see, got you back.
See, I'm back.
And apparently mine was worse than hers. She's ready for dentures now with all of her teeth falling out.
Yep.
With the sweet tooth.
Yep.
Anyway, so how was your week? Tell me something new, anything exciting. What's going on with you these days?
Well,
since the last time I talked to you 5 minutes ago.
Let's see. I think first I want to talk about, I've been divorced for 8 years, almost 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And
I still can't believe that.
I know. And I'm a single mom, and I get breaks, if that's what you want to call them, from my kids every once in a while when they go to their dad's house. And
right. Which is pretty normal with single parents. They have to split custody, so
exactly.
At some point the kids will go away for a little while.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So, when I first got divorced, I used to hate my kids going away. In fact, the first time that they went away for a full week, I did not like it. I cried, and I didn't like being alone, and it was a hard adjustment at first. And then I started realizing that taking time away from them is good because it gives me time to decompress, to regroup, to get some relaxation in, get some stuff done that I can't get done when the kids are always around. So I had been having a conversation with somebody about this a couple days ago, and I was told that this person did not understand how I could be happy about being away from my children. And
wait.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, just because I'm having a 44-year-old moment, you had somebody tell you or give you, am I understanding that this person is giving you a little bit of grief because your kids go away to their dad's house? And you're kind of happy about that?
Yeah, that, like, I say things like, they leave tomorrow morning and I get, a break. And their response was, I don't see how you could be happy about having a break. I don't like it when mine are gone. Okay, well, I'm not you, and your kids are not my kids, and I love my kids dearly, but I do this all on my own 90% of the time. And I'm the one that gets up.
Back up, though. First of all, who's this person to judge you?
Right.
He don't know, or she, whoever it is, does not know what you're going through. But second of all, let me tell you something. I have been married for 18 years, as I very much let everybody know. When I need a break from my kids, it's very easy for me to just ask my husband if I can go and do whatever for a couple hours, but I leave for work, my kids are home. I come home from work, my kids are home. I don't get a break.
Yeah.
And I would like that break, and I am going to call it that because that's what it is. The only way you can be a good mom is by having that break.
Yeah.
By having your kids, especially for a single parent, you need a moment to regroup. And who does that person think they are?
It's,
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I shouldn't go off on a tangent, but
it's
that bothers me.
It's one of those things where, I look at it as it makes me a better mom for when my kids come home and I'm a little bit more relaxed and I'm ready to, I miss them. Don't get me wrong.
Of course.
But I think it makes me a better mom to just have that little bit of time away. It's like a week of not having to get anybody else up in the morning except for me. Not having to cook dinner for anybody else but me. Not having to constantly be picking up after somebody. I can clean my house on the morning that they leave and it stays clean for the entire week. And I cannot tell you how nice that is. And how
Yes, you can, because I can understand that.
Yeah, so I just think it's funny how, different people parent differently, and I understand that, and I always try and respect how people parent their children because they're not mine. I don't have to live with them on a daily basis. So you do you, and I'm going to do me. And it's fine to have an opinion, but I don't really appreciate somebody telling me how I should feel. Like, you can't tell me I should feel bad about being excited about my kids leaving for a small break.
Here's the thing. Everybody, it's like you said, everybody has their own different situations. So maybe in this other person's situation, maybe they're not happy with the way that the other person parents. So that, I could see why that would cause some confliction or anxiety or whatever. Whatever their situation is. Maybe the other person or the other parent doesn't parent to whoever told you this is, their standards. Mm-hmm. Okay, whatever. Let's just take that as the scenario. Then in that respect, I can understand why there would be some anxiety there, but that's them, and mm-hmm. they can feel like, oh my gosh, I have to, my child is going away, or my children are going away, they're going to be with their other parent, and I can't stand the way that they do things, therefore, I can't stand for this to be happening. Okay, then I can understand their feeling, even in the context of they just don't like it when their children go to the other parent's house. I can understand that too. But don't push your, we already feel guilty. As parents anyway, we already feel guilty. We don't need somebody else making it worse.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, just the other day, okay, my son Dylan has band lessons on Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Good Lord, Crystal. Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I have to wake him up and I have to take him to band lessons. Which means that there's just that one extra element of something I have to do from the time that I get up to the time that I get to work. I have to stop at the school and drop my son off.
Yep.
No problem. But on Tuesday and Friday, or whatever, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to take him to school because that's just that one extra element of something I need to do that I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
If you don't need to be at the school early, but there again, the whole guilt thing. I feel guilty if I don't take him because he wants to go. He wants to go, and the only reason he wants to go is to play basketball. It has nothing to do with, playing the drums. So who am I to say no to him? So what do? I take him to school because that's what he wants, even if I let myself go without something because that's what he wants to do.
Yep.
Last week, I had to take Caitlin to the orthodontist, and she's 3 hours away. The orthodontist, 2.5 hours away, give or take. So on that day, I took the whole day off. And that was on a Tuesday. But I had been telling Mark for the last, I'd been telling my husband for the last, however long, last week or whatever, 2 weeks, that I've been grumpy. Like, grumpy to the point of, I can't seem to not be grumpy. And I'll yell at my kids, and then I'll take the step back and say, okay, Crystal, count to 10. And then I'm still grumpy. And I can't seem to stop myself from it. And nobody likes that. You know that old saying, happy wife, happy life? Well, right now I'm just a bitch. And I know it. My husband knows it, although he'd never call me that. My kids know it, and they probably call me that, but not to my face. They probably turn around and go, geez, why is she a bitch, So I told Mark, I said, I just need a day to myself. One day. I just need a day to decompress. And I don't get the whole week. My kids are with me all the time. I don't get that whole week. And I wouldn't ask it to be any different. I have backup. I have somebody who will let me walk away if I need to walk away. But this one day, I wanted a day with nobody. I didn't want my kids to be home. I didn't want my husband to be home. I wanted to spend the day doing nothing or doing whatever I want in a house that's quiet. I didn't even want the dog to be here. If I could have handled that, somehow, I would have made it to where there was, and I want complete and total silence. I don't want anybody asking me for anything. I don't want to know where anything is or have to find anything. You know what I mean?
Yes, I absolutely know what you mean. It's,
So, Van, the point in all of that was just to tell you that, first of all, you do not need to feel bad about being happy that your children are spending a week with their dad. Number one, they need that time with them.
I don't
and
feel
number
bad.
Two,
Not
well,
anymore.
good.
Not anymore.
But number two, then don't feel guilty, or don't let some idiot who feels differently about their children leaving, don't feel guilty because you feel one way and they feel different. You don't do that to yourself. You already got enough to feel guilty about just being a mom.
Yeah, wow.
So I did stay home. And the worst part about that, and even preparing for it, is I was afraid that one of my kids would get sick and I'd wind up staying home and one of them would be home with me. That's how much I needed the break. That sounds terrible, but it's true.
It's funny because so we talked about, last episode we talked about the show This Is Us, and I just watched the episode from this past week. And sorry if this is a spoil alert for anybody that's watching it.
Oh, no! Wait, you mean like this past Tuesday? I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, well, I'm not going to give anything really nothing really happens in this episode, to be perfectly honest with you. There's not anything but there's one part where Randall and his wife, who I just love that relationship between the two of them. They are about to go in and talk to their foster child, Deja, who has come back to live with them. And Randall says to her, okay, I need to play a game of worst case scenario. And what the game is that they go back and forth with any worst case scenario that could possibly happen that you would never say out loud to anybody else. So, like...
Okay, so you're talking about between him and Beth.
Yes.
They're playing this game.
Yeah, they're playing this game. And apparently they do it a lot. So it's like, I would say, like worst case scenario, my kids are going to grow up and they're going to hate me and nobody's going to take care of me when I'm Excuse me. Nobody's gonna... Sorry, there was a pause
Hey,
because
Dan,
my cat...
I think your cat put me on hold.
I know, because my cat jumped up on my computer and I was trying to get him off, so there was an awkward pause there. But just like
That's
worst
okay.
case scenario of anything that you know, those thoughts that you have in your head, like one night my kids...
The what if thought.
Yeah, my kids, you know, is gonna... Like one of them that they said on the show was that the girl... What is her name? I just said her name.
Who? Beth?
No,
Beth?
the daughter.
Deja.
That Deja was going to come in and kill him in their sleep. So it's like one of those things that you wouldn't say out loud to anybody, but...
Right.
Excuse me, but you definitely have those thoughts in your head. So anyway, we can move on from this subject. I don't feel guilty about my kids going and spending time with their father, and I get a break. This person can have all the opinions that they want, but... I am okay with that. So, moving on. We can talk about something else.
Moving on. If, you know what, and truth be told, if it's a person that I'm thinking of, they're very opinionated anyway. So, and a lot of people are. So, I mean, you'll never please everybody anyway.
Nope,
so
you can't.
Okay, so moving on.
Can't please all of the people all of the time.
Nope, you can't. So I wanted to ask you about how Nathan did. How was his play?
I went and saw him Friday night, and he was in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, just a little community theater out by where my sister and my father live. And he played Mr. Bucket, which is Charlie's father. He played Mr. Salt, which is Veruca Salt's father. And
which one was Veruca? Was she the gum chewing one?
No. Veruca, in the old version of Willy Wonka, Veruca was the one that wanted the golden egg. This play was based off the Johnny Depp version of the movie, and Veruca is the one that gets sucked down in with the squirrels and the nuts.
Oh, right.
Okay. So, and he was a narrator. So... I cried, or I had tears in my eyes from beginning to end. I think, and other people thought, he was probably one of the best ones in the play. He amazes me on a daily basis. I mean, this kid, when he was a baby, there, you know, medically there was really nothing ever wrong with the child. I only took him to the doctor for checkups, really. He never wanted to sleep, but he doesn't even want to sleep now as a teenager. He hates to sleep. He never slept as a baby. But you don't ever realize how strong your kids really are until they are having to face something that even adults have a hard time facing. I first learned this about Nathan when he broke his arm roller skating. And he was, you know, just amazing through the whole thing. Like, just strong, never cried. I cried like a baby. And then, you know, 2 years ago, he started having seizures and was diagnosed with epilepsy. And has just taken it on with so much courage that he just surprises me. You know, I have issues with him about school and not keeping his grades up, and that he just doesn't care about anything but the Xbox and or the computer or his friends. And then he does things like what I saw Friday night, and just that he's so good at it. And those are the moments that make all the bad moments worth it. Like, just seeing your child doing something that I didn't help him with this. I didn't push him to do this. My sister asked if he wanted to audition. He did. He went to all the rehearsals. I helped him with his lines once or twice, but this was something that he did. He did it on his own, and he was amazing at it. And
I hope that there's video somewhere. I hope you were able to get something, because I would love to have seen that. I feel terrible that I'm missing that part.
Well,
the part about our kids growing up and stuff.
There is a little bit. There is about a 60-second video on my Instagram, my personal Instagram. I can post it on Spike Coffee and Sarcasm too. But there is, in one of probably the best parts of him in that play, I got it on video. Okay. So, yeah, it's just amazing on how well he did. But I'm a proud mama. I told him that after the show. I gave him a hug, and some of his dad's side of the family went and saw him. My whole family was there to see him. So I think it's just
what a great support. How fun!
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I'll bet he had a blast too. Well, so now for the future, is he in? Go ahead. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, it's okay. Well, I'm kind of the one that pushed him into taking drama at school this year, because he is very creative, and he likes to joke around and be the clown. And so I said, you need to take drama, because that's where you can do all that and actually get graded on it. So
yeah,
and
true story.
He fought me for a little while. He didn't want to do it, but I think he has really enjoyed it. And then when we started talking about him taking classes in high school, choke,
right,
that he actually chose himself. I never said a word to him. He said he wanted to take drama. So he wants to continue on with drama in high school. So I'm excited about that, because, we were drama geeks in high school, and we did all of that stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing what is going to come his way these next 4 years in high school. So hoping for the best.
And he's got someone firsthand that he can go to. I mean, his Aunt Kaylee is 100% a drama fanatic. She's a theatrics major. So
yeah.
That's great. You were talking about how moms, we always get the tears in our eyes. I got to tell you a funny story with Dylan. Okay, so Dylan plays ball. He's my baby, and he's going to be 13 this year. So at one of the games, it was an away game, and it was just me and my friend Jenny, who is Dylan's best friend. His name is Gage. It's his mom. Uh-huh. So it's just me and Jenny there for rooting on the Warroad team, because it was an away game. And right towards the very end of it, now a little backstory, and this will not be a surprise to you, Van. I'm a little neurotic. That being said, when any of my kids get hurt, I'm one of those parents who I can't watch my kids walk down the stairs. I can't watch them jump on a trampoline. I'm that parent. I am that parent. When they started riding their bikes, I was following them in the car. They wanted to ride their bike down the road. I had to follow. Yes, I know. Okay. It's not like I like being this way, but that's how it goes.
Well, you've been that way about everything your entire life. So
my whole entire life. It's hard to. Yes, I know. So anyway, Dylan, Jenny makes fun of me because of this, because I am this way. So this game that they were playing, Dylan I don't know exactly what happened, but he twisted his ankle and he went down. And so naturally, my first reaction was to jump up and be like, oh my gosh. And Jenny put her hand out, and she real calmly and just kind of pushed me back like, nope, you're not going to be that mom right now.
Good
so
for
I
her.
sat there stressing out. I know. And, if anybody could have seen it on, like, if it was videoed, y'all would have laughed about it, because it was funny to see me do that.
Oh, I've seen that a million times. I know exactly what that reaction is. I've seen it a million times. From you.
Okay, so we sat there and we sat there and we sat there and we sat there while they had all the coaches coming over and more people coming over, and he's still laying on the ground and he's crying, or not necessarily crying, but you could tell he was in pain. Mm-hmm. And so I'm sitting there going, come on, Dylan, get up. You got to get up, dude. I can't. You're killing me here, Smalls. You're killing me. So finally they got him up off the floor, and he hobbled over to the side, to the benches where the visiting team was sitting, and he sat down. And so now this whole thing lasted, in my head, it lasted 1.5 years. But
of course,
in reality, it was about a 3-minute thing. Mm-hmm. So finally, after they got him up off the ground and they finished out the game, and I'm sitting there stressing, and it's taking everything I got to not get up and run over there, Jenny finally let go, and I looked at her and went, now? And she goes, now. So I got up and I ran over and I was talking to him and checking on him. So that was a way, way long way to get to the point that I was trying to make. I get the whole
Which is
tear in
another
your
thing you
eyes.
do constantly. But anyway.
Yeah, that's just who I am. Don't try and change me.
I'm not trying to change you. I would never, 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 ever.
Anyway, but I'm like that opposite, the whole they fall and get hurt and you're over the top. I'm like that when they do something phenomenal too. So
yeah.
This just makes my heart full thinking of Nathan doing something that he loves. What a great thing.
Yeah, it was pretty fantastic.
That he loves drama. That is so neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially because it's a soft place in our heart too.
Yeah.
That's how that goes. How fun.
Oh, I just popped you out of my
ear. You what?
I popped you out of my ear for a second. My ear was a little itchy from the headphone.
Oh. Well, so what else? Anything else exciting? How's Ian doing?
He's doing well. We had all week off of soccer, which is incredibly nice, that having to get up early on a Saturday morning to have to go to a soccer game. And we don't have we don't have practice this coming up week, and we don't have any play rehearsals anymore. So it's going to be a nice week of coming home after work and being able to cook dinner, and we don't have to go anywhere. And this weekend we won't have to go anywhere. So, it's the small things in life. I like that. But Ian's doing good. He's good grades. He's playing the violin. He's doing soccer. He has art lessons. He's like, I don't know. He was like my little angel from God, I think. I think God knew exactly what I needed and that I couldn't handle two Nathans, and that he gave me Ian. Because Ian is my love bug. He's my cuddle bug. He's always making sure I'm okay. I have two different relationships with both of my kids. I love them equally. Absolutely. But I definitely have two different relationships with them. And I don't think I could make it through most of my darker days without Ian.
Right.
So he's just my little Ian. I can't help it. Nathan's, 14 and he's almost 5'9", and he's, big, and Ian is still just 10 and he's still little and he can still fit under my arm. And I tell him, you're not allowed to grow up. Like, this is it. This is as big as you can get. That's it. He's like, well, I'll try, Mom. I'm like, okay.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah. So.
That's funny because Dylan is that same way. Dylan is the kid who, he'll take the fall for anybody. When he's at school, he's the first one to stand up and say, you know what, it's all my fault. Even if it's not his fault, he takes the blame. There was one time last year he was supposed to come and he was supposed to go on a field trip. And, of course, at school fighting, there's 100% there is a zero tolerance policy when it comes to fighting. And he was so excited about coming to this thing, and he had gotten in a fight at school, but I don't know necessarily that it was a real fight per se, but it was enough that they had drawn a bit of a crowd, and it was one kid, he had a basketball, the kid took the basketball out of his hand, Dylan trying to get the ball back, so he took someone's hat. It was just one of those things. So they said, no, neither one of you are going. The buses left. So then Dylan sat down with the principal, and he told the principal, he says, he's crying and he's very upset because he's not going. And then he says, I just don't think it's fair that this other kid doesn't get to go because it was my fault. I started it.
Aww.
And they felt so sorry for him that they let them both go. Thank you for admitting it. Thank you for being, you can both go. But Dylan, that just encompasses the kind of kid Dylan is. I mean, he was doing wrong, and he knows it, and he acknowledges it. But he also has a soft heart and doesn't want anybody else to, get hurt or be upset or not be able to, whatever. So I think that's neat.
Yeah.
Last night I had gone to run some errands. Speaking of kids, I'd gone to run some errands and buy some, snacks because we had one kid staying the night, and then Brandon had his little girlfriend over. Her name is Taylor. She's the sweetest thing ever. So I was getting snacks for everybody in case she came back over, or if today she was coming over. Um, and I ran into Katie in town. Now Katie was over at her friend's house, and I thought she was staying the night over at a friend's house. But here it was, 8:45 at night, and she walks in with three other girls, and one of them was the girl she was staying the night with, and then that girl's two sisters.
Uh-huh.
I was like, it's 9:00 at night, right? What are you doing? And she goes, oh, I know, we're just walking around town.
How about no?
Yeah, I told her, I said, but it wasn't 9:00 yet. We do have a curfew, and it is enforced. If the cops around here were to see her walking around, they would have given them a ride home and ticketed them. We'd have had to go to court. So they did get home on time. They weren't doing anything wrong. They were just walking around. But still, small town, whatever.
Yeah. Andy Griffith is out there. The sheriff's out there with Barney Fife. Out there keeping them kids in line. Got to nip it in the bud right there.
Right? So anyway, she went back to the house, and, I got the text that she was home and everything was good. But, yeah, it was funny. Brandon's girlfriend had been grounded for 2 weeks because of bad grades. So Brandon's grades are not all that great either. And we had been waiting for the teacher to finalize what the grades would be. The quarter ended at the beginning of March.
Yeah.
So we wanted to see what the final grades were. And it turns out that Brandon didn't do so hot in a couple of his grades, or a couple of his classes. So I told Mark, I said, wouldn't it be funny if Taylor got off grounding on Friday and we grounded Brandon for the next week so he couldn't have any friends or play video games or anything?
Hey, it's a life lesson. It's a life lesson.
Yeah, he's 17 years old, so for me to say that he'd be grounded, oh my gosh, his whole world would come to an end. That would be the end of it.
Like I said, there's consequences for, not doing what you're supposed to do. But
definitely. Yeah. But anyway. So then I've got my my National Guard. She called me a couple days ago and told me she's coming to visit. So I'm looking forward to seeing her. I haven't seen her since January, but before that I hadn't seen her since July. So it'll be a nice change to see her. She's coming this weekend, which is good because that's when my birthday is.
This weekend is not your birthday.
No,
well, I guess it's the weekend before your birthday.
Yeah, that's what I meant. She's coming. My birthday's not until a week from Wednesday, but anyway, I'm really excited to see her.
Well, that's good.
What about you? Are you doing you have any plans this next week?
No plans. I have no life. I do nothing.
I do nothing too.
I do nothing.
We play on the computer. I just work.
Yeah. So is Dylan, is his basketball, he still really, really loves it and is doing good at it and still wants to be in the NBA?
Get this. He told me that not only was he going to be in the NBA, he will play professionally. Not if he does, it's when he does. He told me that no matter what team he plays for, he will buy me a house so me and Dad can visit him anytime he plays. And it doesn't matter where in the country he, say he starts playing for the New York Knicks. He's going to be buying me a house in New York so I can watch him play for the New York Knicks. And that's going to be anywhere. His dream, Golden State Warriors. He wants to play for the Warriors. But
where's Golden State at?
I'm okay. My geography is kind of bad, but I want to say, it's in the Bay Area, so I'm assuming that's
California?
Around San Francisco. Yeah, okay. It is in California. So San Francisco. So
well, he better make a lot of money if he wants to live in San Francisco, because that's not cheap.
Right.
Well, while he's out buying you and Mark a house, he could buy his Aunt Vanessa a house too. That's just, I'm family. So Dylan, you need to buy me a house too. Just saying. Or a new car or boat. I don't know. a little hut in the
Hey,
middle of Tahiti. That'll work too.
yeah. Hey, you know what he should do? Okay, so, nothing like me imposing on my spending habits on my son's potential future. I think, though, that it would be neat to buy a vacation home somewhere where it's nice and warm, not too hot, not too cold, but then we could all get together and hang out together, and yeah, that would be so awesome.
Well,
Could you imagine?
he could just buy an island. Just buy an island.
Yes.
And then we can all just go and live on this island. And if you want to come and visit us, you have to have a boat. If you don't have a boat, I'm sorry, you can't come to visit.
And what would have been an easy way for us to do that? Did you hear about the Northern Minnesota lottery ticket that won $22.5 million, I think it was.
Wow.
20 miles away from me. I'm at that holiday store every week.
Well, why didn't you buy a lottery ticket?
Well, who says I didn't?
Oh,
but
wow.
that the one that won, that was sold on Sunday, I think, and I was there on Tuesday of last week. Yeah, one single winner. I know.
Should have been
you. Could you imagine?
Yeah,
then we'd all have won that. Then we all would have. I'd have been paying off everybody's debt.
When I would have gotten that call from you saying you won the lottery, I would have quit my job that day. I've been like, I'm out. I don't have to do this anymore. I'm getting $1 million from my best friend. Out. I'm out.
There you go. That's how it would be too. It'd be a whole wow. It's fun to just reminisce and not necessarily reminisce, but it's fun to daydream about what you'd do with stuff like that.
I know that I don't think that I would spend it in on lavish things. Yes, I would buy a house.
Yes.
But I wouldn't buy a big house, and I'll tell you why I wouldn't buy a big house. I don't understand why people need 14 rooms and 17 bathrooms. Why?
Mm-mm.
What do you need that for? First of all, I don't even know that many people, nor do I want to spend enough time with people to have anybody in those 14 rooms using those 17 bathrooms. So
nope.
I would buy a nice house for me and my kids, and I would buy a house for my mom and my stepdad to come here and live, and I would help out, some family. I wouldn't give them a lot of money, but I'd help them out.
Sure.
And I think that I would I honestly think I'd probably be a little conservative. I mean, I would definitely take some time and take my kids and just go sit on a beach for a couple weeks and just.
Oh, sure. I would take one heck of a lavish vacation with all my kids and my,
for sure,
close family, whatever. I would buy a house that doesn't, I would want a 4 or 5 bedroom house. I always have, whether I'm rich or not. I want at least a 4 bedroom house because I would like to have a room that's, has that I can get away into to do stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I would want that, but I don't necessarily want a mansion. I mean, I don't want to clean my little house as it is, much less my mansion.
Well, but if you won the lottery, you could hire somebody to, You didn't
let me finish.
Oh, sorry.
I wouldn't mind hiring somebody to do, house cleaning, cooking, whatever. Oh, yeah. But I wouldn't want it to be somebody who's constantly there because that's not the point. I don't mind cleaning my own house per se. I just don't. I don't know. I'm picky about strangers that I don't really know that well being in my house. So
I don't have any problem with that. The first person I would hire is somebody that will do my laundry. You come in and you do my laundry, and that is your job. And I don't even want to look at laundry. I hate doing laundry with a passion.
You're going to laugh at me. You're going to laugh so hard at me because, I hate doing laundry too. I always have my whole life. But I hate clothes that are wrinkled more. So mine and Mark's laundry.
That's what wrinkle reducer is for.
Mark's and my laundry get washed get dried, pulled out of the dryer, and they get laid flat while I hang them up. I put all the socks, all the underwear, everything that's folded, everything of mine and Mark, that gets put away right away. The kids' stuff, on the other hand, they go in piles. Then I put them in the basket. They go in their room. What they do with it is, as long as I don't find them in the next week's load of laundry, then I'm fine with whatever they want to do. They want to wear some clothes that are wrinkled, by all means do it. My clothes will not be wrinkled.
See, I'm looking at a basket full of clean clothes right now that I washed this weekend that I haven't folded yet, and that's my clothes. I don't find any joy in doing anything with my clothes. I don't even like wearing them for that matter, because none of them really fit anyway. But I used to, when I would do my kids' laundry, I used to sit on my bed and I would fold their clothes and put them in piles, and I'd tell them to come get them and go put them in the room. No, this was, not even tiny. I'm not talking about baby clothes. I'm talking about like within the last year or two. I would fold their clothes and I would tell them to come in and take their pile and go put them in their room. They would go open their drawer and just throw my nice, neatly folded clothes into their drawer and shove them in there. I'm like, why am I wasting my time sitting here folding these clothes? So I don't do it anymore. Nope. I'm like you.
I don't either.
Well, and now Nathan's 14, so he does his own laundry. I'm like, I tell him, if you want clean clothes for the week, you might want to start a load. He's like, I have to do it. Yep, you have to do it. You are 14, and I am not going to let you become an adult who goes out on his own and doesn't know how to do laundry. You're going to know how to do laundry.
That's what I tell Brandon. Brandon, I walk around and I'll say to all of the kids one time, I will wash the clothes that are already in the laundry. If you want anything else washed, you better let me know now. And then I don't say another word about it. If they don't, like I had Dylan come by 2 weeks ago and he's like, Mom, where am I? Whatever. Well, are they not in your basket of clothes? No. Well, I did all laundry. Sorry. They're not in the dryer. They're not in the washer. Oh, sorry, Mom. I left them in my backpack.
Oh, well, sucks to be you. Sucks to be you. So
now, Brandon and Katie can pretty much do their own laundry, and I don't mind letting them. The only problem I have with that is that I have a brand new washer and dryer, and I don't want them to ruin it. So I'm kind of leery about... I do show them how to do it, but letting go I'm struggling with that a little bit. So... that part is my own fault. But Katie, Brandon, and Dylan are all far beyond old enough to know how to do their own laundry. They can easily do it. I just need to step back and hope for the best.
Speaking of laundry, I have a pile. It's not really a pile. It's the clothes that I need to hang up that I hung over my chair that I'm currently sitting in that I just haven't hung up and put in my closet. My cat is laying on them, giving himself a bath. I hope he's comfortable.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Gross. I mean, I have this huge, gigantic king bed. It's got 2 blankets on it. And he decides that he's going to sit right on my clothes.
That's great.
Thank you, Kaboom.
That's awesome.
Appreciate that. So, anyway, all right. So, are you ready to do our best friend questions? And then we can do our little shout-outs. We have some shout-outs to do and some, other information we need to mention. So you go with your best friend question.
Okay, so in the 8th grade, and we were in 8th grade.
Wow.
You and I won a contest in school, and I want to know if you remember what the contest was. We were in 8th grade. It was in junior high, so we won this contest in junior high. What was it?
Wow. I'm going to have to tap into the way back of my brain for this one. I think it was... Well, back in the day, I know that the DARE program was a huge thing back then. And every year we would do some kind of pep rally or some crap like that for, don't do drugs or whatever. And I think
You're on
that
the right
year...
track.
I think I remember now. And I think that year they asked everybody, we had like a twin day. And we dressed up in all of like DARE garb, like a DARE shirt and I think we had pom-poms or something like that. And we
Yep.
dressed almost the same. And we actually won that contest, which I'm not really sure why we won. Well, I know why, because we had the dare stuff on. But we are nowhere near twins. I mean, I've got
Mm.
brunette hair. You have blonde hair. You have freckles. I don't have freckles. I wear glasses. You didn't wear glasses at the time. I was always shorter than you and a bit heavier than you. You were always tall and skinny. So how we won a twin contest, I don't know, but it was because of the dare stuff. So
Okay, so here's what I remember about that. Number one, yes, on everything you just said, we weren't judged because we looked alike physically. We were judged because of what we were wearing.
yeah.
So we had our hair pulled back in ponytails, and the pom pom that we had in was one of those. It was the school colors, so it was
Oh.
gold and blue. In
Oh, I
you know,
forgot
we had
that
the
was our
pom
school
pom in the
colors.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the back. So it was just first of all school colors. Then we had the Dare to Stay Off the Drugs T-shirt on. Then one of us had black acid wash pants, and one of us had blue acid
Acid
wash
wash.
pants. Then
Nice.
the one thing about this, that's why we won. Okay, so the administrators, teachers, and whatever, they judged the contest. That's why
Okay.
we won.
Uh-huh.
Because all of the other contestants were, if it were girls, they had their hair all cute, looking exactly the same. They were wearing the same shirt. They were wearing the same pants. So they looked like twins wearing the same clothes. But since we were the Dare twins, the administration, that's why we won. But we never made if you go looking through the yearbook,
Uh-huh.
you will find pictures of twins in the yearbook from that day, from that contest. You will find different people who participated in that contest and different people who were twins. You will not see the post of the winners because you and I were not part of the popular group, which is
Uh-huh.
who ran
The
who ran the
yearbook.
journalism area or yeah, yearbook. So even though the administration and the faculty were in charge of judging us, the students were in charge of putting the pictures in the yearbook. And so since we weren't popular, there were no pictures of us as twin winners.
Well, that's
So
just
yeah,
rude.
that's my question. Yeah, it is
That's just
rude.
rude. Yeah, because I was
I
going to
don't
say,
even
I'll go
think
take a picture of it and post it on Instagram, but we didn't get our picture
you
in there. So,
should look just to double check because I could be wrong, but I vaguely remember feeling like that's the only reason why I didn't get my picture in the paper. As how do you not win a contest and get your picture in the paper? It seems so silly, but anyway,
well,
what's your question? Moving
that
on.
was 8th grade, so I can that
Eighth
that
grade,
right
yep.
there tells you why we didn't get our picture in there because we weren't part of the
Exactly.
popular crowd.
Because
anyway,
everything I keep telling my daughter about how girls are in 7th and 8th grade was true even back then when I was in 7th and 8th grade.
it doesn't change in adulthood either. Women are catty. Women just suck as far. I mean, come on, let's be real about this. We are not nice people for the most part.
Without offending anybody, in the nursing home, it's just as bad. They just can't hear you. That's what's even funnier. They talk
That's
crap
true.
about each other
Oh yeah.
right in front of each other, but nobody's hearing aids are turned on. So
Nice. Okay, so my question to you is, what would be my dream job? Which I'll probably never have, but that's why they call it a dream.
You know what? I hate when you say stuff like that because yes, it could happen. As soon as I remember what it is, I'm going to tell you. And it could happen, damn it.
If you remember the one, if you get it correct, I'll tell you why it's not going to happen.
Okay, can I ask for, I think I know what it is, but just so I'm on the right track, does it have something to do with you going to school right now?
Well, it did.
Okay, so then what I'm thinking is your dream job is it has to do with like, it's got to be like counseling or psychology or like, as a counselor of some kind, like, I don't necessarily think you want to be a doctor of psychology or psychiatrist or whatever,
no.
but I do think that it has something to do with counseling. Am I close?
You would be a winner chicken dinner. I
Woohoo!
wanted to
See,
be.
I know you.
Yeah, I wanted to be a school counselor.
A
And
school counselor. And I thought about saying that, but I wasn't sure I was right. So I should have just
yeah.
gone with my instinct. Go ahead.
So I started going back to school a couple of years ago. Seems like a lifetime ago, because I'm still not done and I'm ready to be done. But I started out going for a psychology degree. And
okay. Yep.
I love studying psychology. It's a fascinating field. The mental mind is just fascinating to me. But it came down to the point where I would have had to take a pre-calculus class to get my psychology degree. Now, I'm going to share something with everybody. I hate math. I have always hated math. I have always struggled with math. And it is very lucky for us when we were going to high school that we did not have to have 4 years of math to graduate like they do now. We only had to have 2 years or 2 semesters or something like that. We had to have
like algebra. 2 years. I took basic and regular math, and that's, like, and when I say regular math, it was regular add, subtract, multiply, divide. I failed pre-algebra.
Yeah. So if we were to have to go back and graduate high school these days, I would never have graduated high school because I would have never gotten enough credits to graduate in math. So anyway, I stopped getting the psychology degree, which sounds so stupid, but I am 40 something years old and I'm not going to stress myself out over a math class to get a degree. So a lot of people, that's probably going to sound stupid, but
no, it doesn't. And no judgments here.
I wasn't going to do that. So now I'm currently getting a bachelor's degree in liberal arts, and I really wish that my thumb would stop twitching. Actually, I take that back. My thumb and my forefinger and my pointer finger on my right hand have been twitching. I think it's carpal tunnel, to be perfectly honest with you, because I type on a computer all day long. So I think it's carpal tunnel, but it's rather annoying. Anyway, sorry. Side note: I have some twitches going on. I know. So I'm going for a liberal arts degree. I don't know what I'm going to do with it when and if I do graduate. So
you will graduate, Van. If you keep saying that, I will reach through something and smack you. I will be going to a graduation.
Okay,
don't do that.
It might be in 2025 when I'm 55, but
whatever.
Okay, so we are going to do a shout out to another podcast. It is called Species, and it's on iTunes, and it's done by Mackin Murphy. It's really a great podcast about bugs, different animals. He has a passion for it, and so he turned it into a podcast. I enjoy it.
I found it very interesting when I went on it. I found it very, very interesting. I think that's great, it's exciting, not like boring. I think like kids would totally enjoy it. I think kids and even older kids would enjoy the way that he talks about it. I thought it was really good.
He tells it in a storytelling kind of way. Like he's telling a story, which I find really great. So just wanted to give a shout out to him. Go and take a listen. He's on iTunes. You can find him on Facebook also. So give him a listen. And especially if you have boys at home that like bugs, they'll probably really, really enjoy it. Or animals for that matter. So anyway.
So again, it's called Species, right?
Yes,
so
yes.
Facebook /species.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Yeah, drop us a line if that's not correct, and we will definitely get you the correct answer, just in case we said it wrong. And Mac and I apologize if we didn't get the right answer out there.
Okay, so Also, next episode we're going to talk about pet peeves. I got a lot of them, so
Oh
that's going to
yeah.
be fun. I've got
You
pet
know
peeves
what?
about
Y'all to
driving.
just clear your calendars because that's going to be like a 5-day show. Just saying. Because pet
Yeah,
peeves are
right.
wow.
So if you have any pet peeves that you want us to talk about on that episode, shoot us an email at spikecoffeeandsarcasm@gmail.com. We'll definitely talk about it on air. If you would like to get a shout out on the show like we just did for Species, leave us a review either on iTunes or on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, on Instagram, on Twitter, anywhere where you're just, giving us a good review, letting people know what you think about our podcast. We'll give you a shout
Just
out.
hit us.
Follow us on Podbean, and we'll give you a shout out for that too. So let us know you're out
Yep.
there. Let us know that you're listening to us. So
Just
I
hit
think
us
that
up on
was
anything. We would love to hear anything you guys are saying, suggestions, anything you want us to know, anything you want us to read, any announcements you want us to make for you. There's anything is possible. So yeah, definitely give us some information. Drop us a line. We cannot wait.
Yeah. Let me know. Email me or email us and let me know some of your things that people have said to you about parenting your kids and that it annoys you, like I had earlier this week with somebody trying to make me feel guilty about my children. So let me know. Let us know, and we'll definitely talk about it. So, well, there's another episode in the books. So we will talk to you guys.
8.
Episode, 8. 8.
I'm all proud of myself because you guys, if you want to know the truth, the secret be told, we had to redo the beginning of this because I, of course, said episode 9. And in the very beginning of this one, I still screwed up and fell all over my face saying the wrong thing. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of the inside joke around here.
It wouldn't be an episode of Spike Coffee and Sarcasm if Crystal didn't screw up at least once.
So anyway, I'm Chris. It was great to be with you guys today.
Yep, and we will talk to you guys later.